1, Psycho 1, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, BMG ultimately winning that in the end over CiC Esports, but CiC no doubt going to be looking for some revenge, but I think it's safe to say at the very least, whenever these two teams compete against one another, we have a great series ahead of us. It will be best out of 5 is the plan as well as far as what is on the line here. Looking forward to that. And obviously, cannot wait. I was excited to cast them on today. In fact, again, going into today, I wasn't even sure if there was going to be grand finals because I was initially told that there might not have been. They might have delayed it to later in the week. But hey, it turns out they came together, and especially not only do we have it, but we're getting started even a little bit earlier than the default time. In fact, over an hour earlier than the default time. So everything's lining up to be just great. And cannot wait. With that said, I do got a couple of co-casters here actually going to be joining me. Minimag, unfortunately, not going to be joining. Again, we were having the issues there, but I do got a couple others pretty cool guys here. I got Diglett and Narcy going to be joining me on the cast here, so I got some tri-cast going on. We'll start with Diglett first. How's it going, man?
What's up, Breaky? Happy to be here. Some interesting games. I watched both of the series, actually, because the CiC games were really quick.
That's true.
And interesting stuff. But yeah, pretty expected stuff.
Yeah, I actually I was looking over at the end, the stats, and it seemed like CiC definitely taking care of business against Willowkeeper there in a 2-0 victory pretty easily in the end. So having a statement to come into here. But Narcy also, like I said, going to be joining me. Narcy, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you, Breaky?
I'm doing good, man. It's, I cast on the weekends here for some good old competitive heroes in New Earth, and obviously, there's been some downtime as of late for understandable reasons. But going into this weekend, I was hyped, and we've definitely had some good matches so far. And like I said, this is the ultimate matchup that we can have nowadays. So I'm excited to say the least. With that said, so were you also watching the other series on RC?
I only caught like the very end of it, but I'm really excited for this right now. Like it's always, BMG versus CiC is always like what everyone's waiting for, myself included. So can't wait for this, really.
Yeah, it's one of those cases. Like part of me is like, okay, yeah, it's the same team. It's what we expected. It's a 1 and 2. It's CiC versus BMG. But the other part of me is like, why is that a bad thing? These teams are great. They're always a lot of fun to watch. I ain't disappointed, and it doesn't sound like a lot of people are by any means. So, anyways, I'm rambling on as always, but we got a lot happening so far. So let's kind of take a closer look. The initial bans, by the way, it was Magmus, Kronos, Warbeast, and Chipper coming out. So showing some Keizu Warbeast respect there, coming out from Hanskin off the bat, and then the picks to follow. What do you guys think about what's going on in this draft here? We'll start with Diglett.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, everything's pretty standard. It's the old patch, so it's where everything was pretty much the same. The only thing that may be odd is Ophelia, but BMG loves to run Ophelia. They still like running a jungler. But everything else is pretty much the same. Drunken Master being one of the top picks, along with Rhapsody, Empath, Kraken for Limp. Everyone knows that. And Swiftblade is just the go-to carry for this early game aggression.
That he is. Narcy, what about you?
I was actually really excited to see one thing. I actually talked to Diglett about it, which is, everyone goes like, hey, Puppet Master's overpowered, and everyone's going to ban Puppet Master. But Puppet Master wasn't even banned this game, and no one picked him up. Because just these two teams have so much respect for each other. They know that if they pick him up, he's just going to get, kited around and just like outplayed. So they go for the more skill-based heroes, and I really like to see that in this game.
Well,
so.
It's kind of funny you bring that up because the last time these teams played, the last grand finals, I should say, these teams played again in Cycle 1 here for the Carnage God of our Pro League. I believe Puppet Master was picked up in 3 of those games or something like that, and he went 0-3. So that itself kind of tells you with these two teams, at least when they're going up against one another, it's like maybe he's not the go-to, as you put it. They know how to play against him. So, yeah, not even touched here, not picked up, so not even dealt with in the end. I will say that Ophelia definitely standing out to me, but especially because we saw him play against Reason Gaming just not too long ago. And, it's Hanskin as we know him. He dominated with them. It was good to see that. And BMG as a whole just looking very good and very active. They finish off with Flux, and that is scary, especially with Limp's Kraken right there. I wonder what Limp is actually going to play. I mean, he's also known for playing that Flux. So we may see a swap-up here once the final pick comes out. But, I don't know, AoE Synergy at its finest coming out here from BMG. Would you guys be scared?
Yeah. But then again, CiC is going to throw them off with their Suicide Swiftblade. and Riftwalker,
Oh, wow.
which we haven't seen from too many people. I mean, it's
Uh,
interesting, but
these are going to be some crazy team fights, 100%. Like
yeah,
Flux alone,
Yeah.
Flux is my favorite team fight hero because the second he presses R, everything just goes crazy. Everyone just like he'll look down at the fight and everyone is just like, "Oh my God, we're everywhere!" Like it's insane.
That's the
So
reaction that you have in Skype. It's, oh
all
my
the
God,
time,
yeah.
all the time.
that's what happens. Yeah, no, you're right though. Yeah, you do look at the Hellborn team too. Riftwalker, man. I mean, he's not your everyday. But we have Riftwalker's kind of been making appearances here and there, and Sania has played her. I want to say at least a couple times. I'm sure Quincy tuning in, he'll probably give us a stat on that once he hears that. But it seems like a support that Insania especially would be good at playing and likes to play. He likes to play a very aggressive kind of play style when it comes down to it. So I guess I'm saying I'm not surprised to see that in his hands. But now the laning phase obviously going to be coming out here between these two teams. What do you guys expect to see as far as lane setups here? It looks like Zibby, by the way, is going to be playing Flux, and Kraken, sure enough, being played by Limp. Anything out of the ordinary, or it's pretty? You were mentioning maybe a Suicide Swiftblade here. It looks like that's probably the case here, Diglett.
Yeah, I mean it. Like they on the Legion side, there's nothing that can really shut down the Swiftblade. Like he'll just farm and they can't kill him because he'll just spin. So either A, they need to send Kraken to outlast hit him, or the Flux, which is probably gonna be the Flux, and they'll have Kraken middle.
Yeah.
With a Suicide Hag and Rhapsody roaming with Ophelia. So, but regardless, like he'll just do fine, and then Drunken and DR will get farm as well, and then Insania's just gonna roam.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Quincy,
Yeah.
actually bringing up an interesting point, too. Ophelia, Kraken, and Rhapsody combination once again coming out here. And he brought that up. Actually, BMG used it in the first game against Reason Gaming. It's kind of funny because he says that combination, Ophelia, Kraken, Rhapsody, doesn't necessarily seem like a really synergistic, like, oh, those three heroes are obviously, that's obvious why they come together so well. But I think it's just is coincidence that they pick those up together quite a bit, and they do very, very well with them. I think they're now 4 for 4 with this combo of heroes, according to what he was saying. So that's obviously interesting to point out there too. But Narcy, what about you? Anything specific about this laning phase to expect here?
I mean, the laning phase, Diglett put it like straight to the spot. It's gonna be, they're gonna have to figure out how to deal with the Swiftblade because, as Diglett said, like there's really no absolute counter to the Swiftblade. So if they deal with the Swiftblade fine, I think BMG will do just fine. But it'll be really, really interesting to see, specifically that point in the game, because everything else seems very standard, though, for the other lanes. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. But, yeah, I'm always excited to see, especially, again, Exhibit playing the Flux here, but the Flux Kraken, that's pretty classic right there. Obviously, they don't have the engineer support. I'm guessing he was banned. Well, was he banned, actually? No, he wasn't. Looking through the bans,
NG wasn't banned.
Yeah, BMG, what did they picked Hag, and then they picked, what was their final? It was Flux after that. Okay, so unless they could have gone engineer maybe before instead as a support option instead of the Rhapsody, but again, it's it's not like you need engineer with a Flux to be to make it work 100%. I'm sure without it works just fine. So
it's about damn time.
As we have seen before. You know what I like to see also? I wonder what Exhibit he's going to kind of build here because there's Willow Keepers. Who plays it over there? It's Krake is the one that plays it. Yeah, and he goes out in Sanitarius and more of an aggressive like right-click build, and it actually works pretty well. The more routine, though, is something like the Portal Key. You think the Portal Key just makes too much sense to pass up here?
I mean, I like it, but I think Limp will go for the earlier PK, and so Zibby's role is more of the aggressive, like, semi-carry and just, like, tank. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went in Sanitarius.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Flux is one of these heroes where, once he clicks his release, which is his, like, Q ability, basically he has so much time and such a huge window to auto-attack people. So if you really like strengthen that part of him, he can do quite a lot of damage in a short time, and they can't really run away from him. So
look at this bottom lane setup here again. The aggressive tri lane, obviously in the makings for CiC Esports, as they got Swiftblade, Empath, and Rift Walker. Dr. Pulsar also down here with them currently. But in the end, it doesn't look like they're going to be running into anyone here for the time being. But if the lane stands, it looks like they're shaping up to be. That means that Suicide Flux going to be dealing with this tri-lane here off the bat, and you would expect CiC Esports to most likely make a change. With that said, if that is the case, Hanskin also, though, he probably needs to be a little worried here, a little scared even. When that's also, I mean, could you see a BMG maybe rotating Rhapsody down here and kind of playing that pseudo tri-lane against her, or is it just too risky?
It's way too risky, especially with Swiftblade. Like, Swiftblade can just eat Rhapsody, like, alone. Like, and then on top of it, they have Riftwalker and Empath, so it's like a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say the kill potential on that tri-lane is insane because you have the slow from Riftwalker and you have, you know, the wall and the stun from Empath. So it's gonna be pretty insane. And Empath blocking here the Ophelia hard camp, so Ophelia won't be able to really help too much. Just trying to limit that Ophelia factor.
Yeah, not the best creeps either. I mean, looking across, you got Alchemist Ogre, you got a Wild Hunter. Not the friendliest Ophelia creeps coming out here. Just has the Vagabond and Vagabond Assassin over there. So, Hanskin more than likely, yeah, he's already headed towards that Hellborn jungle up top here. And the unfortunate thing about this too, they blocked themselves that lane camp off to the side, simply because, you know, to take that away from the Hellborn side. So, you know, not the biggest deal in the end, but he will have to make that rotation, as you see, when it's all said and done. Riftwalker roaming around, maybe trying to find that Ophelia, but that is going to not happen. So, but now this puts the Hellborn team in kind of the awkward spot. I mean, you got both Doctor and Drunken usually prefer to solo. If you're Riftwalker here, do you think Riftwalker's going to end up just with this Doctor or with the Drunken? What makes more sense?
I don't know. It makes.
Go ahead.
I'll try to refer a name.
Let's do Diglett first, Narcy second. Every time, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so
yeah.
I mean, it makes more sense for him to be top because he can't really do anything middle. Like, he'll be fine middle and he can zone the Kraken, but I mean, they can't really get a kill. Like, maybe they could kill Hag. That's kind of hard. And Hag is like, I don't know, he's interesting. He goes for the Apprentice robe, which I found really strange. So he got pooled enough regen to where he could get a bottle, like now. And I don't see where the 6 intelligence is going to do anything at all.
That's
maybe that's me. I don't know. It's Jonas, so he kind of does the
Don't
thing.
question it.
Yeah, don't question him. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. These two supports are just going to roam and they're going to be able to do whatever they want, really.
Yeah. I don't like the Riftwalker roam into the middle too much. I feel that she's going to be more of food type of thing, like for Legion, especially with Ophelia now in the Hellborn jungle. And Hanskin tried to like sneak past CiC and go around from the side, but Kezu had a ward in the top river, so they know that Ophelia is there. And with an Ophelia king, it can be really dangerous. They can set stuff up really easily with Rhapsody, Ophelia, and Kraken. So.
Uh-oh. Flux bottom lane. Now we're going to see the Bloodlust kill exhibit dropping. Yes, he will go down. The wall off from Empath, and that's the power of that combination right there. Even against a tanky Flux, man, he just still drops in the end. So that's a big start, to say the least, for CiC Esports. Mickey, obviously, getting credit for the kill right there. In the end, you do see middle lane. They're trying to pressure Rhapsody a little bit, actually. She kind of gets out of position, but in the end, she is going to be fine. As that cascading event doing a little bit of work for there. Oh, they're diving again? How about that? Swiftblade actually taking some return damage. In the end, going to be fine, though. But yeah, Flux trying to get a little bit of revenge there himself, but not working out ultimately. But yeah, Mickey's having a good time, though. Bottom lane down here.
Yeah, that's quite expected. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Hanskin tried to gank the middle lane, but just couldn't do anything. He just like walked his Catman into the tower, got like 3 tower hits from the Catman, just went back.
Oh my God, Wretched Hag, is he going to die right here? Drunken Master staggered in 1 second. Yes, he is. The courier coming to the last second, but unfortunately not. And actually, that just delivered his bottle too. Oh man, that timing. That gets there a second quicker. He might survive there in the end. In fact, probably does. So. Unfortunate timing right there, but also well played by Kezu, obviously, playing the Drunken Master. So I will say this, a slow start for BMG. Kraken being played by Lemtho in this cycle. He is now 4 for 4 if you include the match today, that as far as win goes, with something like 450 gold per minute, but obviously not the best start for BMG here so far in game number 1. So continue to keep an eye on that. But yeah, he's the only one that's having any bit of farm. Can you adjust anything if you're BMG here, Diglett?
I don't know. It's kind of hard, like, because you have the 1 support to the 2. like if Hanskin comes back to his jungle, it's just like too much pressure that he'll face because Swiftblade almost has boots and he could just run in the jungle and chase down Ophelia. So he kind of needs to get levels to where he can stay. Ooh, and Riftwalker.
Yep, speaking of Limp right there, obviously getting a kill on a Riftwalker. Dr. Pulsar, he's trying to get a counter kill on a Rhapsody, gets the assistance from Empath, and gets the job done. But he is not level 6 yet, and Limp's taking advantage of that. The auto attacks, he gets a double tap. He wants more damage, and more. He's most likely going to get Empath. One more auto attack. Yes, a hat trick. Coming out for Limp right there. You see Riftwalker coming in the last second. Now she's in trouble. She gets pulled in right there with the ultimate from Flux. Kraken chasing, but they just don't have enough mana to follow it up fully, but I think Limp is still just fine with that. So you were saying, Diglett, all they need to do is just get a hat trick on Limp, and then things will be fine.
Exactly. That's all they needed. And now it's perfect. But yeah, like, I don't know. These supports, like, the way up and Dragon Master.
Is he in trouble?
Maybe he'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Oh, never mind.
No. Okay, well, after that, as I was saying, Tree really likes the Riftwalker, and Root of Z is known for playing it, and he was on the top place. How they run it is they have him take one creep wave, and he just jungles with it. And he usually gets like 4 or so, maybe even 5, and he gets like almost steam boots. And then there I could see it doing really well, and that's like a good strategy because you just get your second support levels, and then you have no clue where he is. The problem is now Riftwalker has no levels. And he can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's level 3, and he has a slow, so he doesn't really do any damage. He doesn't have boots, and so he's just, like, caught in this awkward spot.
Definitely one of those supports that really needs that level 6 ASAP to be of a big threat. And it's kind of funny, you know, Hero's sitting, it seemed like, I thought I remembered Insania playing this hero before, but apparently it's been played 8 times. Insania has never played it, so, in the Pro League at least, so, but not to say that's the reason why he may be struggling, but obviously, other factors for that. Ooh, top lane, though, they're diving onto the Drunken Master. He's going to use some bottle charges, though. KZ knows how to use that pathing. In comes Swiftblade as well with the TP. Kraken is here with an ultimate. Actually, no, it is on cooldown. Just used it. Now they do get the counter kill onto, who was that, Ophelia. Swift Slashes come out, and Wretched Hag will fall. Drunken Master trying to stay alive in the background. He does get picked off by Limpa. Annie picking up 2 kills, a.k.a. Mickey. And he's going to maybe be going for a third. I mean, Kraken, he's bulky. He's going to go for the TP. Knows he probably don't have anything, and sure enough, they don't at that point, so at least he gets away. But obviously, that was one of those cases of diving a little bit too much right there. And CiC taking advantage. So also a good roam by Swiftblade coming out here. But yeah, how's the game going so far, Narcy?
I mean, we've seen some really good roams from both teams. Like, the Flux, if you notice, just ran all the way from bottom to mid lane to set up that 1 kill onto Riftwalker and give Kraken, like, his hat trick. So I don't know. I mean, this game, I feel it's going to be hashtag Limp Kraken. Like, I really want to see what's going to happen once he gets his PK, and that's going to be very, very soon. So, oh boy. There we go. He's in. He's in again.
Ultimate from Flux even used right there. I think that might have just simply been to assist. And yeah, sure enough, gets credit for the kill right there onto Limp. So Exhibit at the bottom lane. Seemed like he was getting the assist in there, as well as a little bit of vision and seeing where everyone else was and pulling them into the angle. So 5-0-0 Kraken. Like I was saying, man, this guy's 4 for 4 this cycle with this hero, and there's obvious reason for that. He's just so dominant with the hero. Ophelia getting caught off in the jungle with that said. Dr. Pulsar, nice calls getting net at the last second, though. Ophelia has the line of sight advantage, going to be fine. Oh, my gosh. That was clutch right there. And actually, ooh, he didn't pull, actually. I thought he might have gone for the pull right there. So he did push him away. Now Dr. Pulsar out of range, but Kraken coming in. The release on Empath. He knows that he's dead. He says, at least I'll be a distraction somewhat. And Swiftblade is going to be fine, but what a getaway from Hanskin. Top one in the meantime. Kind of going at it, but not a whole lot there. But yeah, beautiful play. Like I said earlier, we saw him make some big plays and doing another one right there with his Ophelia.
I'm wondering, Diglett, what do you think of Drunken Master grabbing that bottle? Think it was completely necessary because of the harass from the Hag, or?
Yeah, with Hag going a bottle, you kind of have to match it. And with Drunken, you can just spam stagger and drink, and then Hag can't really do much.
Oh, here's the Rhapsody as well. Rhapsody's pretty much like been roaming all over the map and
trying to.
Yeah. Seal kit.
He has 4 assists, so that's going to show him that, and he's going for a 5th, but Obviously, Drunken again. He's has a stagger. Now he has that untouchable, so becomes even more difficult to pick up the kill, of course, in the end here. So, not Rhapsody, but Riftwalker. He is getting close to the level 6 mark, as we talked about. How's that wormhole? Do you think it's one of those cases you get level 6 on Riftwalker? Do you really try to use that right away? Is it like one of those ultimates, or is it just nice to have and it comes in handy, you know, if it calls for it?
I think it's one of those where you just wait for it to happen. If you force it too much, it's not really going to do much. Like, you're just going to be caught in a bad spot, especially against something like Flux. Like, Flux can pull you out, and then you're just, like, sitting there ulting as Riftwalker in the middle of nowhere. And so you have to be really careful about it.
Yeah. You see Empath right here roaming around, and actually almost a little thankful that he didn't get picked off. A level 5 Empath just roaming in the Legion jungle with little vision, but in the end, Slapped is going to be fine. Ophelia has that Ring of Sorcery. Again, no boots just yet, but doesn't need them for the time being. Rhapsody's level 6, speaking of that, as that Protective Melody, of course, as a result. In the meantime, Energizer picked up by Swiftplay right here. And, you know, we see this, CiC does this a lot, though. They sometimes get the double Energizer, and it's because Keizu especially loves to get it on Drunken Master. What do you guys think about that? I wonder if he's going to do it here, and if he does, you know, again, do you think that is the right decision, or is it time to move on?
I completely disagree. I have no clue why he gets that item.
Yeah,
because right now, if he uses Ghost Marchers and Stagger, he's already at max movement speed, or near max, and there's no reason for it. Like, it doesn't benefit Drunken Master at all, really. The stats are minimal, because he's not agility. And Swiftblade already has it, so... I mean, it's fine if you're getting, like, a solo kill, and, like, if you want it on Swiftblade, and then, like, another hero, because you need it for some reason, but he can stagger out of anything. He can stagger out of Limp Slow. He can stagger out of Haunt. So he shouldn't be slowed by anything. Maybe Flux, but if he's slowed by Flux, he's dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just going for a faster Bulwark or Shrunken Head or Shield Breaker or anything that actually, like, benefits Drunken is so much better than getting an Energizer. Like, it's
I
fine
feel
when
like
he's...
the Bulwark is really important here than Drunken, I think. Way more
like
important
when
than
he's
an Energizer.
Suicide. Yeah, when he's Suicide and there's no one else to get it, then it's fine as, like, a team item. But, like, if you're the carry Drunken, you can't waste all your money on that.
Well, again, he hasn't done it yet, but it seems like he does quite a bit. So we'll see. He has 1,400 gold right now, so just about there if he was going to be going just for that straight-up Energizer. Or maybe this is the game, now that we're talking about it beforehand, he goes something completely different, such as the Soulsborg, as you're bringing up. So yeah, they got that tri-carry lineup here, obviously on the Hellborn side. You throw in the Doctor Repulsor as well. His start, you know, not the best, 263 gold per minute, but both Drunken and Swiftblade especially doing much better even. So you know that's the power of a tri-carry lineup. Just because one's struggling, the other two are doing just fine. That it's still working out. Doctor Repulsor in the meantime. Speaking of him, I'm sorry,
Hashtag
buddy.
Limp Kraken.
Yeah, that. Yeah. Yep.
Instantly, the second he gets his PK, just goes in.
And that's a Dr. Pulsar with his ultimate. It's like that's not a guaranteed kill necessarily, but he was confident enough, obviously. And
they're in on the Riftwalker here. Is she gonna get the? Oh, this.
Oh, nope.
Displacement.
Yep, gets picked off, and Limp is 6-0-2 on his famous Kraken. So yeah, the PK right away, already being involved, picks up a couple of kills even. Throughout that. It looks like they're going to be pushing the middle tower. Ophelia obviously assisting with that. She's actually almost got an Astrolabe now. So she, again, still no boots on handskin, but who needs boots when you got your team support items and you're doing the work anyway. So working just fine for him there. So bottom lane, Flux. Wall comes off, nowhere to go. He's tanky, but not tanky enough, says Swiftblade. He cuts through him and does pick up the kill. So again, Mickey, Limp on Kraken, doing very well, but Mickey on Swiftblade is saying, pay attention to me too. He has 425 gold per minute, and yeah, he is a threat himself. So, by the way, Sackstone just picked up by Keizu, so yeah, he does go a little bit different here. But that's still not your everyday Drunken Master item. There's actually action in the middle lane now. Drunken Master jumps onto Ophelia right there. Bat Blast, a big Bat Blast. Hits multiple heroes. Dr. Pulsar, the one they're trying to kill Ophelia with the minions after death, trying to do work. Not enough. Dr. Pulsar, you see Wretched Hag, though, invis. Soda Scream just out of range. He was hoping to snipe him. If he blinked first, he would have had it, but he knew that would have probably led to his death. The wormhole is used as well. They thought he was still hanging around, but obviously not the case. So when it's all said and done, kind of backfired there for BMG. Tower kill for CiC as well during all of that, and it looks like, yeah, that is the end of that. But Oof.
Yeah, and okay, back to the Saxstone. Like, okay, Doctor just picked up a Gravelock. Like, he can get that item, and it's even better on Doctor Repulsor. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes no sense. It feels like they just didn't coordinate that. Because if he could right click a Bulwark, and that would be so much better. And if he wants the armor, just keep it on positive. It's just as good, if not better, than a Saxstone. Especially if DR can get the Saxstone, which he just died. So, I mean, yeah, DR's not getting farmed, so it'll take him a little bit longer, I guess, to get the item. But it's not really helping anybody if he has a Saxstone by himself top, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's just sitting top of the Saxstone. It's not doing much.
Narcy, anything to add there?
I mean, I was the second he got the 2K gold, I'm like, you know, let's see that Souls, because that Souls is really gonna help Hellborn so much. It's gonna like make Swiftblade's abilities way stronger. In addition to Drunken Master, I mean, I don't know. It's also gonna protect the Drunken Master himself from the physical abilities on BMG. So I don't know. I mean, the Saxstone does give him that armor, and the team armor sort of, but
yeah.
It's just, yeah, I mean, as Diglett said, you know, the Doctor could have gotten it, if anything.
Is it just me, or does it seem like the Suicide players especially seem to be kind of the ones that maybe just build different items that you wouldn't expect? And you got Keizu, you got Jonas Afin, as we were just talking about. Kind of just do as they please and just where they feel like for that game. So, yeah, part of me is like, this is Keizu, man. This guy's been around forever. He knows what he's doing and everything, but you guys bring up some great points, and it is hard to argue against what you're saying. So it's like, I don't know about that. But he does have another 1,600 gold now saved up. So maybe now that Soul's Bulwark going to be coming out next. Speaking of Saxstone, actually, Kraken gets one of his own here. Going to be delivered.
Excuse me too, because Hag can get it on there too. Hag has 1,400 gold. I don't know what they're doing, Breaky. They're just being crazy.
Well, here's I still don't understand the Driftwalker pickup, honestly. Like, because I don't see who can use it. They don't have anything to set up for it either. And BMG have like almost the perfect lineup to initiate on it before it even initiates. Like and I'm sure like they have, you know, Sibi, I think he has the, you know, state of mind where he knows, hey, we're about to team fight, we're kind of clumped up, so I'm just gonna use my ultimate.
Yeah. And
that's gonna screw Riftwalker up, if anything. So.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. It's gonna be really hard for Insania to hit those god wormholes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw earlier, again, trying for the Wretched Hag and just completely whiffed, hoping that he was still there. But obviously a one-for-one exchange going on right there, and it's not over just yet. Limp going in, he gets that charge. Beautiful charge into the tree. Look at that combo. A lot of the damage was in. No, he gets the Swift Slashes off, and he's going to survive. He actually gets away. Ophelia's touch comes out of the last second as well. Drunken Master with the Untouchable. He's trying to do enough damage now. He needs to run away. So, I mean, no one died, but the fact that he lived is just unbelievable. Drunken Master, though, never mind. He does end up dying. Dr. Pulsar, he's nearby, going to try to kind of play with them a little bit right here, but in the end, BMG looking pretty strong as far as this pushing presence goes. As Swiftblade is regenning though currently, but there's that charge and the immediate kill on a Riftwalker. So Noah Wormhole once again going to be coming out. Limp is dominating indeed, says the announcer, and it's hard to disagree with that. But Swiftblade coming in, he gets pointed back by the way. Flux in the meantime will be picked off. And the three heroes here of the Hellborn side, they're going to chase. They're going to look for Ophelia now. Ophelia, no Astrolabe cooldown. Ophelia's touch obviously on cooldown. He will definitely fall right here. Try to maybe save the minions, if anything. I don't think that's going to happen either, though. So the end result, CiC actually fights pretty strong. I'm speaking too soon, though. Bat Blast in the face. Dr. Repulsor is dead. Swiftblade, he's kind of hanging out on the edge. Limp is trying to get the angle right here. He misses the charge. A very, very unusual mistake coming out from Limp, especially on Kraken. But in the end, Swiftblade's still in trouble. But look at Empath. He's distracting, if anything. And he will keep them alive. And actually, here's the response now. It's just not ending, man. No mana on Wretched Hag now. And he will fall. Kraken is alive. Is Kraken going in? Of course he is. It's Limp after all. He still wants kills, but now, that might backfire. Yeah, he is going to fall right here. Well, that did not end as planned, and now Mickey's a champion of New Earth himself. All right, then.
I'm actually surprised. I had no idea that Mickey is 9-0. That's really interesting.
He's doing pretty good.
I mean, hey,
he's really under the radar here.
Yeah, I mean, we said it. We said it from the beginning. If they don't stop the Swiftblade, they don't have a counter to him. Like, yeah, they initiated him.
They did not stop him at all.
like they used a lot on him and he didn't die, but they still won that team fight. But I think they just stayed a little bit too long. And like even though they were winning all of those fights and Limp was 8-0 before,
Yeah.
if you notice, they were up like 25 gold and like 2,000 experience. So it wasn't even that much because Mickey's farming so well, and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, I kind of brought that up earlier, but yeah, Limp was just overtaken, and BMG just started to look pretty good. But yeah, the fact that he's 9-0-3, 543 gold per minute, very, very scary indeed. And actually has that Frostburn finished, looking good. Now again, Dr. Pulsar, buying more time for him to get farmed, definitely a good key here. But actually, they're going to be going for a gank. Rhapsody will fall. Flensmeister getting credit for the kill, and then a quick fallback will allow them to be fine in the end. So. Obviously, a nice pick and get out there. Now, so BMG, again, they've been looking pretty good. Oh, that ultimate, yeah, it's going to bounce a couple times. Now, Kraken is about half-life. He does survive, but there's the wormhole coming out from Insania. Is going to be enough for the kill of the Kraken. No, it's not. In comes the release of Kraken. Limp going for a response. The teamwork is there as well. Limp gets ported back, and now Swiftblade trying to spin out. No, he goes back in, actually. He thinks he can get the kill, and he may be right on that. Yes, he is. Down goes Flux, and Ophelia will fall when it's all said and done. So these fights, man, I mean, they just seem so close sometimes, but that one, CiC does come out on top yet again, despite a beautiful save on a Kraken. In the end.
I mean, BMG right there, and they still don't have the Wretched Hag, and I feel like Wretched Hag is pretty much most of their DPS, if not all of it. So I'm not sure. Like Wretched Hag still pushing that top tower, and Wretched Hag was there that fight. I think it would have gone a lot different.
Yeah.
So, especially with that Kraken ultimate. It really, set up perfectly for the Hag, so.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, if Hag that was a hat trick, easily. But he's just trying to farm his Grimoire, which I think is the wrong call. Because, yeah, he's pretty much all their damage. Like, Zibby didn't get the start that he wanted, and he has pretty much nothing right now. He's 1 in 4, 260 gold per minute, and all he has is a chalice and a bottle. So he's not doing the damage that, I don't know if they expected him to do, or they wanted him to do. So now he's pretty much there for his ulti, and to do a little bit of damage here and there.
I was really confused, by the way, because Jonas is, like, the left bar shows a Grimoire, and I'm like, why does he have a Grimoire and a light brand? Like,
yeah.
Like, wow, he's farming like crazy here.
Yeah, just saying he wants a second Grimoire, just cuz. No. Yeah, so obviously that is that bug right there. He still needs that Blessed Orb, so he just about has it at least. And again, we know how powerful that can be, but yeah, no, most certainly agree with you guys that if he was there at that middle fight, definitely could have been a win for them. But I noticed it in the series against Reason. BMG really came to play today as far as especially action. They are just go, go, go. And that is no different here, and CiC clearly on the same page as well. So we're definitely getting some entertaining Han, to say the least. And what is just game number 1 here in a best-of-5 for the grand final. So again, keeping that in mind. Definitely hype ahead of us. So bottom lane, though, BMG, another fight perhaps going to be brewing right here. You do see Riftwalker, an excellent counter pusher, of course, with their ability and skill set. So it's not easy to push against that. Who's not here? Dr. Pulsar's not here. He does have a TP, though, if need be. How about Swiftblade? He actually gets a snake bracelet, by the way. So eventually a wing bow, but already having a snake bracelet, man. 23 minutes in. It's a lot of evasion. What do you guys think about that? Is that worth the investment?
I don't think so, honestly. I think it'll...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, mischarge right there. There's the response on a Kraken, though. He gets the release Kraken off. In comes the protecting him out in the background. No Bat Blast coming out just yet. The Hellborn team, though, taking the damage. There's the Bat Blast. A look at the damage as the resolve of the Swift Side just bouncing around. Swiftblade looking to do some damage. He gets the kill on 1-2. Kraken goes down. Flux is down. Wretched Knight gets the kill in the background, though. She picks up a hat trick on an Annie, actually, as the hat trick comes on him. So Wretched Hag, what did he finish off with there? Well, yeah, he got the 1 kill, but then he gets on out of there. Man, both teams had some pretty big ultimates, but Mickey playing the Swiftblade, he is unstoppable, it feels like.
All skill, baby. But, yeah, like I said, they have nothing to stop him. And, yeah, that snake bracelet it's a good choice here because the only thing that really can stop him is either A, he gets all of BMG's buttons pressed on him. Like, every single ultimate used on him, and then maybe he dies. It's either that scenario or Limp just... Maybe. Yeah, that's still a maybe. That's not even a definite. That's still a maybe. It's either that, but he has his spin, so he doesn't need to worry about that. So now he just needs to worry about Limp doing damage. So if Limp misses a splash, like, they can't kill him. So it's just it's a safe call.
Yeah.
And once he gets Wingbow, he's going to be doing insane amounts of damage. and he has lifesteal, so he pretty much won't die. He just needs to be kited.
Yeah.
So somehow
Lifesteal and
BMG
2K
needs to
health
kill
is-
everybody, and then just kite Swiftblade. But yeah, go on RC.
Oh no, I was just, yeah, I was just saying like 2K health and lifesteal and a wing bow. I don't know how they're gonna kill a Swiftblade. It's
Yeah.
gonna be really, really tough.
Well-
in addition to his magic immunity, of course. So
Yeah, there's that too. No, but the other thing that, again, the cool thing with Wingbow too is being the melee hero, he gets that reflected damage on top of his counterattack, which he doesn't have yet, but eventually will get. And that's one of those abilities. Yes, I understand why people don't level it up, especially earlier on, but by that late game stage, man, especially with a Wingbow thrown, I mean, he's not only going to be dealing a lot of damage, but if you attack him, you're going to be taking a lot of damage from those attacks as well. So on top of being difficult to kill, the moments you do try to damage him down, he's still going to be responding with a lot of damage. So he really is that kind of awkward. I almost want to sit here and say you just want to crowd control him and kill everyone else, but, obviously I could sit here and say that all I want, but that's a lot harder to do than...
Yeah, because he's just going to spin and kill your whole team. So,
Exactly.
like, it's one of those things where you kind of have to ignore him and kite him around, but you can't ignore him because he kills everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's an awkward space to be in indeed. Oh, but we're going to be going right here. Actually, Kraken charges in. That's what they're going for. He's dropping. Down goes Swiftblade. That's the chance that they were looking for. And it pays out, but he bought back. He's coming back in. Is this going to be a response for CiC Esports? They get the one cone of Rhapsody. There's that Swift Slash. Just look at them drop. Ophelia goes down. Kraken, he's still one alive. Flux in the background. He's not so much. He says, get off me, bro. But Swiftblade does not oblige. He's chasing him down. Gets the auto attack. Gets the kill. Kraken one auto attack away himself. The lunge connects, and down goes Kraken. A 4-for-2 exchange if you count the buyback. But still, so again, even with them getting the initiation that they were looking for, a buyback happens, and he comes back. So it stops his immortal at least. But now he's going to go for Kongor, and they're going to go to Token of Life on top of everything else.
That Flux ultimate was absolutely perfect.
That was huge.
By the way, it was like it couldn't have been any better because, they tableted the Swiftblade out of the Kraken ultimate, and then he ulted perfectly where the Swiftblade landed right in the middle. So that was pretty insane.
Yeah.
But but that was the best thing that could have happened for BMG, and as we saw, it only took one buyback to just turn it completely around.
And now you have a Token of Life on him.
And now you have a token, and then a demonic or BKB on Keizu. BKB. And soon he's going to have Wingbow, and then DR's also going to have his Hellflower soon. So it's a lot of big items on top of token. So now, like I said, BMG they used a lot to kill Swiftblade. They used literally everything to kill Swiftblade. And so now he has token. So now they need to use everything twice, which they can't. So it's going to be really hard. They need to take a team fight really, really carefully.
Yeah, they're focusing on the Swiftblade, and you got to remember, there's a Drunken Master and a Dr. Repulsor as well.
Yeah.
They do massive damage. So
again, that's the strength of a Tricor lineup, Tricor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, Dr. Repulsor, sure, he's in fact still even now, just barely past 300 gold per minute, but hell, that's a Dr. Repulsor. He'll have a Hellflower now, and at least great assistance. Also going to be level 16 soon. So, yeah, I'm looking at this Legion lineup. The more I'm looking at this game developing here, I don't know, man. BMG, not only do they need a great initiation, but they need some sloppy play from CiC, in my opinion, because what do they have? They have a Wretched Hag for damage output. I mean, she's almost got a Shrunken Head, but that's a Shrunken Head, and that's not going to do a whole lot against a Drunken and a Swiftblade at the same time. So they're not only going to need that, they're going to need the Sheepstick, they're going to need a full Resto Stone. I mean, I almost want to say, do you go Sheepstick? Do you just go right-click damage? I mean, does that even make sense on Hag in this case? Would that do anything? I don't think it would, but...
I mean, here's the problem, which is really, really well played on CiC's part in terms of the drafting. Their Tricor is not just physical or just magical. So if you get a Shrunken Head, then the Swiftblade and the Drunken Master are just gonna demolish you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get a Shrunken Head, then you have the Dr. Repulsor that's just gonna sit on you and stun you and put all that damage on you. So it's gonna be. I definitely feel as though the Wretched Hag should go for more of the Sheepstick route, because they really need to sort of kite the Hellborn team around. But it's still gonna be really, really tough.
Yeah.
I don't know what Diglett's opinion on that is, though.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think going for the Sheep and BKB is the right call. If he doesn't get BKB, he's just gonna get Hellflower and he's just gonna die to the Swiftblade right clicking him. So he needs that, and then from there he needs Sheepstick. And then once he goes Sheepstick, he's fine just getting Resto. Just kiting and having 2 ultis. That should be fine, but I don't know. They need to play it really smart, and CiC is just going to take their Rex.
Yeah, there goes the middle push. So you do see Jonathan Fan doing his part again in terms of pushing out the bottom lane. But actually, okay, I thought they were going to jump right there, but no, they're just going to go into the base. There's the Shrunken Head on Kraken, but again, it goes back to the logic. Is that really the big item that's going to help turn things around? Look at that choice by, okay. Jonathan Fan, he initially bought the workings of a Nullstone. Now, if this was post-patch, I mean, he would have actually had it right there. But
yeah.
You do need the 1,000 extra gold, of course, pre-patch, and he actually gets it, and he gets the Nullstone. So, again,
I think that's a fine pickup as well. But he needs to be really careful, because if GR just uses his W to break that and Hellflowers him, he's still in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there's several abilities. You got that. You got, of course, even Riftwalker with his shared existence, the W itself. You got the Q from Empath, so you do have a couple of abilities, of tablets for that matter, that could take it off pending coordination. And at this level of play, you like to think that's possible. So it's definitely one of those in-betweens. I kind of feel like it's great against Lunge, it's great against Swift Slashes, of course, but there are other abilities like you're just stating that can easily take it off at the same time. So it's a matter of will it actually be used in the good way or not.
PK, by the way, being delivered on the Riftwalker.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That's kind of a big deal, too. And Empath jumps inside of Swiftblade, and here we go. He's got the token for, what, 48 more seconds still. Again, a lot less than it used to be, 5 minutes total, but still long enough for them right now. And they are taking advantage. Mickey kind of falling back here, waiting for the next creep wave. Gonna go in, and oh, here we go. The charge misses, actually got tableted, it looked like, but now he's gonna start bouncing on the Swift Slashes. There we go, gets the one cut of Flux. He almost tears up Wretched Hag. She buys back on the Flux, by the way. They're coming back in, protecting the melody. That's a full channel. It's not being stopped. Swiftblade dropping, actually. The Bat Blast at the last second. He's still alive, finally goes down, but the damage has been done. Kraken gets taken out. Flux is low on life. Look at Swiftblade just holding his ground, as expected, deep into the base. Now he's starting to take some good damage here, and he will fall back. Riftwalker is killed. The only death so far on the Hellborn team. There are 2 really right now on the Legion side. Again, a buyback was used on Flux earlier. Wretched Hag does. There we go. They cancel the Nullstone. The Lunge hits. Good coordination. And down falls Wretched Hag. And this should be Barracks right here.
Yep.
And there you go. So yeah, nothing more BMG could do at this point. Kind of just have to watch and, well, let their Barracks fall apart. So, I mean, good attempt. But yeah, it's just, CiC is just so far ahead right now, feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, there's this Tricore lineup, like, yeah, it's nice that Hag has farm, and yeah, even Kraken has a decent amount of farm, but like, there's so much on Hellborn right now that no matter what you get, it's somehow countered by one of these 3 heroes. And so you can't, like, there's not enough item slots to just stop this from happening.
Yeah. They knew
I feel, yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, that was a joke. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, CiC's lineup is like so good, and I feel if they had someone other than that Riftwalker, it would have been massive, even more deadly.
So
like,
Insania's dragging them down, basically.
Well, Insania's not dragging them down because I mean the slow itself is a really strong ability, other of course than the wormhole and all. Mm-hmm. But I just feel if they had another sort of, stronger support, or really like any hero, I don't know. The Riftwalker hasn't really done much this game.
Yeah.
But they still have such a strong lineup. So.
Yeah.
He's done enough for the team. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
He's missed a couple wormholes. He's hit a few, but I agree. Something with a bigger presence in the game, it would show.
Yeah.
Big time, yeah. I think this game would have been over like way earlier.
Quincy reiterating his stat right here. Again, just to clarify, Mickey has not played Swiftblade in the Karnja Kaldivar event, and here this is his first game with it. And here he is, 17-1-9, 650 gold per minute. I think it's safe to say a successful debut with the hero here. So, yeah, definitely doing work. So middle lane, I think BMG maybe has like one fight left in them. This is almost like an all-in right here. They're going to go in. Yeah, here we go. There's a charge, a beautiful start yet again, but he gets tapped over the ledge. Kind of awkward right there. Release the Kraken. They already pulled with Flux, but the Swift Slash is starting to come out. And look at the crits bouncing all over the place. Ophelia's touch going to be used, but it's just too little too late. Ophelia goes down. Now Reginald gets a pick on a Doctor in the background, but meanwhile the rest of his team is just falling to pieces. Kraken barely alive. Not for much longer. Oh, he has a haster. That's going to be the difference maker, actually. As Reginald blinks and goes for the TP, it looks like he will actually get out of there. But, again, BMG clearly in the mindset they just need to have something happen. I want to be surprised if they throw out a Concevo here soon, to be honest. But that did not go as planned either in the end. So it's just a matter of time for CiC Esports before they're able to go full throttle here and eventually take care of business in game number 1. Again, pending some miraculous, like I said, okay. They understand it too. Again, they don't have the stats in front of them like we do as spectators, but I mean, as experienced as they are, I think they know at a certain point it's like, okay, yeah, we're just not going to come back. Maybe talking about future games. Again, it is just game 1 in a best out of 5, so CiC does take the 1-0 lead. But we at least got 2 matches coming at you, and I think it's safe to say there could very likely be a game 4, if not a game 5, as there usually is between these two teams. So we'll start with Diglett first. Any final thoughts here on game number 1?
Really well played by CiC. I think their draft was really well done, even with or without the Riftwalker. I feel they played it really well. They just bought Swiftblade enough time, and even though there were some misunderstandings with items, at least from our point of view, they just Swiftblade was able to create enough space